Well, 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 well. The CEO of lastminute.com has finally arrived. Guys, please stop. You're gonna make me blush. Anyways, now that that's over, it's time to pack all of this up because it's time to go home. Ooh, it's a lot of stuff. Oh my gosh, this is actually such a drag. I had to ask myself, why are we last minute packing once again? And then you know what I realized? I think I just enjoy like the sudden urge to have to do something. Maybe I enjoy the pressure. Okay, so this is all the clothes I have left. These are the only luggages I have right now. So this is gonna be very interesting. Okay, so our first two questions are from Only Joking. I think that's how you say it. And they said, how easy do you find it to keep up with lectures? Any tips for note taking? Great. I just said great because I thought it was gonna like anticipate my thinking, but it didn't. I think with the note taking thing, it's different for everyone. I believe everyone takes notes in a way they find it easier to understand things. And for me, in my first semester, I started taking my notes on my laptop. I would simply just make a heading, put the date. I make subtitles for any like new talking points. I tried to condense as much as I could because I wanted to be realistic about it. What information was I really going to remember? When taking notes, just remember to keep your notes clear and concise and use a method that will help you to remember things. When I was doing my A-levels in particular, I started using the Cornell notes, and that was really helpful because as someone who likes to get to the point and answer really quickly, I think it was the best way to summarize your notes. If you're someone who likes to learn with colors, by all means definitely use it. I know I'm someone who likes to use colors. Like I said, overall, keep your writing clear and concise, and whatever summary method you're used to, as long as it works for you, use it. And the second question is, if you've ever needed help on a certain topic, how accessible did you find the lecturers / tutors? I'm really grateful because as independent as university is, I felt like the support I've had has been absolutely endless. I'm really grateful for it. Like whenever I needed help, especially from my seminar teacher or my lecturer, I would simply just ask them in an email or I talk to them about it personally, and they were more than happy to give me the support I needed. So I'm really grateful for that. If you like reach out to a lecturer and for some reason they can't give you the answer you're looking for, thank God for YouTube and Google and all these search engines that can give us answers in less than a second. Obviously I'm in my foundation year, it's basically my first year. I'm still gonna learn as I go along, but I'd say overall lecturers, tutors, seminar teachers were very helpful and I couldn't be more grateful. Look at the amount of clothes I have left. Does this actually make sense? Guys, please, if you know you're leaving your accommodation soon, please don't be like me. Don't bring heaps of clothes that you know damn well you're not gonna wear. Next question is by mosthated_Daryl1. What are some of the challenges you faced with group work presentations? This is a great question because I literally just had my group presentation like a month or so ago, so this is really good. The biggest challenge is something you'll face in any sort of group work, and that's just having incompetent people. But it's just really annoying having made plans with the group and then someone's just being flaky. I dislike that so much. There's always that one person who like delays or doesn't come to a group meeting or doesn't do something at the time they're supposed to do it. You're wasting everybody's time and everyone's putting in the effort. You're not putting in the effort that you should be. We got it sorted out in the end, so that was good. This one's more personal, and that's just like stage fright. When you have to present something to a class or a group of people, you know, you get the nerves, you're a little bit shaky. Having nerves with group presentations is something anyone can face. And my next challenge was, this is actually from the feedback that our seminar teacher gave us on our project, and that was learning how to paraphrase rather than reading everything off of a slide. And the reason why my teacher said this is because it helps your audience to be more engaged, and I think ever since you told us that, I've really taken it into account and made sure that in my next presentation I'm paraphrasing and engaging with the audience rather than just reading off of the screen. That's some of my 3 challenges. Having people flake on me during presentations, presentation nerves / public speaking nerves, learning how to paraphrase rather than reading everything off of a slide. So I hope that answers your question. Next, I'm just grabbing everything that's under this bed and taking it out and getting ready to pack. Like anything that can be packed into its box, that's what I'm gonna do right now. Now it's time to do the second one. Okay, next question. Aduni? Anyways, they asked, how's uni? I had a great foundation year, and honestly, I would encourage anyone to do a foundation year. I think it perfectly bridges the gap between A-levels and university, because obviously it's a very big jump, trust me. It definitely gave me the room to breathe a bit and to give me some time to also adjust into the new environment as well as uni life in general. So I'm really grateful for that. That's not me saying I'm not going to make any other mistakes in my first year or other years to come, but yeah, my foundation year went well, and thank you for asking. Look at the state of my floor right now. I feel like I'm in one of those TLC episodes about hoarderers. I can't wait for all of this to be clean and gone. This is what it's come to. Don't look at me like that. Now I'm going to be dismantling my shoe rack, and the next question is, ooh, this one's a good one. This person said, what's something unexpected about university that you don't learn until you go there? So for people who are moving away from home and going into a different environment, be prepared to search for accommodation about 2 months after you move there. Based off of my own experience, Manchester is a city that doesn't have enough housing to house so many students. There was someone in my class who was coming all the way from Liverpool every single day because they couldn't find accommodation in Manchester. That's something I've never learned before, and just having to deal with it is so stressful. Imagine, I first moved here in September and I was looking for my accommodation towards the middle/end of November. And the worst part is, so much accommodation was snatched up at that time. Bearing in mind, it was snatched up in November 2023 for September 2024. Let that marinate just a little bit. That being said, I do want to mention that with student accommodation, they do prioritize first years. It makes sense, but also it kind of sucks for the rest of us who are going into our second/third years and don't really have anywhere else to go. This plagiarism and citation stuff be stressing me out, I can't lie. I feel like when you're in secondary school/high school, you do learn a bit about, you know, using footnotes and just citations in general. I feel like when you come to university, you'll see it's a whole nother level in itself. You don't want to plagiarize, you want to give credit where credit's due. But at the same time, it freaks you out because even when you submit an assignment, you're asking yourself, did I put the right citations? This is something I learned when I came here. There's different types of citations, yeah, so depending on the subject you're taking, you might have to use MHRA, whilst another person might be using Harvard, and then you've got others like Chicago, and then this, and then that, some I didn't even know existed. But yeah, that plagiarism stuff is taken very seriously, so don't catch yourself in the ring of fire. And I just realised that I didn't pack an ounce of my shoe rack. You know, it's just now I'm learning I don't know how to multitask. Why is it not coming apart? Release. Oh. Okay, it's fine, I'll just buy another one. It's actually 2 a.m. and I have the audacity to sing. Right. Okay, I'm sitting on my cabin bag. Hopefully it can hold me. Ah! Eli. You know what, I was gonna say Ellie, but then I started self-doubting about the fact that it could be Ellie and possibly Eli. Now my mind is confused. And the question is, how did you deal with uni stress and what is the best way to deal with it? I didn't. Here's the thing, there was a lot of uni stress, there was. But I think what helped me deal with it is just the fact that MMU has a lot of facilities in place to deal with mental health and well-being and all that stuff. So that really helped me. I talk about this a lot in my blog, which hopefully I should have linked in this video or in the comment section down below one day. I do not know when it's going to get published. Surrounding myself with people I care about and people that care about me, going out, getting fresh air, enjoying and getting used to the new environment that I live in definitely helps. What else? Not leaving everything to the last minute. I know I'm saying that and I've left everything to the last minute. Guys, don't follow me. Don't do what I do. But on realistic terms, especially when it comes to assignments, I can't speak much on exams. I haven't had exams yet. But definitely for assignments, don't leave them to the last minute. Do a little bit at a time. Even if it's doing 30 minutes every day or doing 1 hour every day, every little helps. Tesco knew what they were talking about when they wrote that motto. Don't keep everything to yourself. If you're dealing with something emotionally, I think you should talk to a professional about it. If it's for any other university, definitely reach out and see what well-being and mental health services your university has in place. They might have plenty, and it might just be a simple fact of you going to find those resources and definitely see what events the student union has going on. I know for MMU, the student union does events all the time. During the month, I think March was the month dedicated to mental health, I'm not sure, I can't remember. The university had a week of activities planned dedicated to well-being, and also cool. I will say that at least for MMU and in Manchester, there's always something going on, so you don't even have to worry about feeling bored or lonely. I can definitely say I've been out with both friends and myself, and I have a great time either way. So that's how I dealt with my stress. Guys, we have finally made it to the kitchen. Do you see all that nonsense behind me? Yeah. After today, there's no more of that. And there's no more moldy pizza for me to clean. Now I'm just gonna pack all my cutlery and any other utensils that I won't need to use. One thing you can always count on me to do is make useless noise at 2 AM in the morning. And the next question I'm gonna ask is by extra_LOL, and they ask, work-wise, is the transition from A levels to uni okay? The thing I'd say to that is, it depends what you see as okay, because my okay and your okay could be two different okays. What I'd say to that is that the jump from A levels to uni is quite significant. The transition for me was big, and in some ways I'm still trying to settle in, because the way I get homesickness so easily needs to be studied. Work-wise, the jump from A level to university is significant, but you will cope with it. I think naturally you'll just get better with it over time. Oh my god, I had a plantain here this whole time. That's why my cabinet was smelling like banana. I can't compare my experience to someone who's in second year, third year, maybe even first year. Everyone's experience is unique. I don't want to say you'll feel the pain, because that sounds a bit too harsh, but you'll feel pressure. To sum up everything I've said, work-wise, the jump from A level to university is quite significant, but overall you'll find ways to cope with it. There are structures and facilities in place to help students cope with the work, as well as getting support from your teachers and peers and friends and whoever else you need support from. Guys, I know this is very unnecessary, but the Ghanaian girl inside me doesn't want to part with this plantain. There's just so many things culturally that I could do with this. I'm sorry you went unnoticed for so long. I never thought I'd see the day where a vegetable evoked so much emotion out of me. It's gone. It's in a better place now. Next question. How do you make friends in uni? I'm super scared I won't find anyone. First of all, do not be scared. Do not. One thing you need to remember in uni, especially in your first year, is that everyone's in the same boat as you. You're scared, that person's also scared. One of the biggest things I've learned this year is having to step out my comfort zone and being okay with being the first person to say hi. Like, sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes it just takes you being the one to break the barrier between another person for you to start talking just like that. And who knows, that one person that you started talking to this morning might be your friend for life. But how will you ever know if you don't break that barrier first and be the first one to say hi? Okay guys, say bye-bye to all the decorations. I don't want to take them down yet, especially you. Okay, next question. Ooh, this one's a long one. Did the jump to uni scare you in terms of the people you come across and the out-of-pocket things people be doing, especially going to uni in the UK? Weird people in the clubs, weird ass people in uni accommodation, weird guys and how they move so madly, etc. That question was lengthy. The thing about moving away from home for the first time is that obviously you're having all these new experiences. Yeah, there were some odd moments, but I think I was more so intrigued. Obviously I'm older now, I need to learn how to deal with situations by myself. And I'm not saying that to scare anyone, but I'm just saying that, like, it kind of goes into my last question of having to step outside your comfort zone. You're gonna meet and bump into weird people and people you probably don't like, and you're just gonna have to learn how to firm it. I haven't had any like crazy accommodation experiences. I think the most craziest thing that happened in my flat is just that when one of my roommates left her cake out, one of the roommates ate it all without telling us, and having disputes over fridge space. I think that's the craziest thing that's happened to me all year. Oh wait, actually no, that's not true. Also dealing with that moldy pizza crust in the bottom of the bin, that was a hard pill to swallow. There was an incident. It wasn't necessarily an incident, it was basically this person was saying a lot of out-of-pocket things, and when I say out-of-pocket, I'm talking racist. I won't go into detail, but just know they were kicked off the course apparently, so that's that. And I think going out to the clubs and whatnot, remember, people have left home for the first time, so some people will behave ratchet and behave in ways like they've had no home training. I remember going to the club, and I'm not the only one this has happened to, but just guys move into you just for the sake of it, and it's like, please get out my face. So yeah, I have had to deal with that before. Other than that, I haven't had to deal with anything crazy. I've had a really great year, and I really hope next year will be just as great. You know what's crazy is that it's 4 AM and I have no sense of urgency. Like, I feel great. Maybe it's just the excitement of knowing that I'm going back home. Like, sometimes you just know when it's time. You see, I knew putting up these lights would always come back to bite me. And you know there's people in the movies that try not to fall from a great distance. Me too, I'm trying not to fall from a great distance. So Naya asks, how was your first experience living away from your parents? At first, let's just say it was really daunting, because I'm someone who's very much, I like to stay at home because home is my safe haven, and I like to keep it that way. It's not going good, y'all. It's not going good. No, why is this actually happening to me? I think just settling into your environment over time and just getting to know new people that will make you feel at home. I think that's what it is at the end of the day. Doing your best to make your new environment become a home away from home. I'm meeting up with my friends and going out, or just simply just going out by myself. I have a great time. It also just helps me become independent a little bit better. Obviously, I still have a long way to go, but as of now, I think I'm doing really well. I got the vines off, but now it's time to take off my flag, and I'm actually terrified. Lord, please. Anyways, my wall and my vines are off, and it is what it is. My vines and my beautiful flag is officially down, but shall be back for season 2. Guys, look how many medicines I have in my cabinet. That's how you know I'm always ready for the next illness. When you come to uni, make sure your medicine drawer is intact, especially that freshers flu. Don't let it fool you. If you're outside during freshers, you will catch it, trust me. Guys, not the sun rising and me still packing. Like, what is this? It's 12 PM now. I just woke up not long ago, but let's finish what we started. Next question. Navy asks, how was getting to know new people and finding a sense of belonging? I love to get to know people. I feel like in my university era, I'm finally comfortable with talking to new people. It definitely was a struggle in the beginning, don't get me wrong. I was nervous, but you know how I said sometimes you have to take that first step? All it took was me taking that first step, and now when it comes to meeting new people, I can be the first one to say hi, give them my name, and I'm not afraid of the outcome. When you actually come out of your room and start talking to other people, it will really boost your socializing skills, and overall it will just make you feel better in general. I think one of the worst feelings is being afraid to leave your room because you're afraid of, you know, what other people might think of you, or just anything else in general. But I think when you actually put in that effort to talk to new people and just put yourself out there, knowing that you were brave enough to do that is an achievement in itself, and I think it's definitely something everyone should go for. I'd say, surprisingly, a lot of people might not figure this out in their first years or whatever, and that's totally fine. The time of finding a sense of belonging is different. I definitely have a bigger sense of belonging now than I did once results day had come. Don't get me wrong, I know I want to do international relations, but in my previous videos I did talk about having like various opportunities that have allowed me to dive into different fields, and I'm really grateful for that. And I think being able to dive into different fields has allowed me to gain a clearer view of what it is that I actually want to do, and I learned that I'm just a creative person, and that's really what I want to do with my life. Next question that Navy asked, what courses are you taking, and are they difficult? So as I was in foundation year, I haven't actually started my course, but the course I'm taking is international relations with a modern language. I do have an issue of giving myself too much to handle, because I like a challenge, even though I know I can't handle too much at once. And the final question from Navy is, since starting uni, do you think you have changed as a person, and what are those changes? Love this question. I really love this question. If I was to look at myself 3 years ago versus now, I can definitely say I've changed as a person. Naturally, when you move into a new environment, and especially away from your parents, you're forced to mature if you already haven't matured. And I feel like even though I was already mature, I've matured even further. I've basically become cheese. When I said in my moving video that I really appreciated all those times when my parents would do the laundry, buy groceries, all those little things that you never have to think about. Trust me, when you start living by yourself, you'll start thinking about those moments and stop taking them for granted. I really feel like I'm in my adult era. Like, I know I turned 18 2 years ago, but I can definitely say I'm entering my adult era. An example of this change will definitely be how I handle arguments and criticism. So with criticism, I'm finding it easier to take back constructive criticism rather than bickering with someone and be like, oh, why'd you give me that? Instead, I'll be like, oh, okay, I actually appreciate your advice and I'll make sure to take it on board for next time. And when it comes to arguments or just having beef with people, you know, when you're younger, especially in secondary/high school, you're so ready to bicker with each other. Oh, why'd you do that? Why are you all up in my face? Why are you doing this? I'm not saying that I'd throw hands, by the way. I wouldn't actually throw hands. I think now I've just learned how to not give away so much of my time to people that don't deserve it. I just want to be civil when I'm making arguments. I don't think there's any need for he said, she said. I think if you can't be civil in an argument or in any sort of conversation, then you really need to start questioning your maturity. If you see yourself as a mature person, then find people who are similar to you. Really surrounding yourself who people have similar interests to you but are also mature and are also academic. When it's time to crank down and get ready to do your assignments, they're doing it. Being around those kinds of people has really encouraged me to want that for myself. So my parents have just arrived to help me pack everything into the car. I just wanted to show you the state of my room currently. Look at what I've got going on. Guys, this is the reality of actually moving out. Like, but if anyone wants to know what it's like, this. Okay guys, everything is officially out of my room. Just gonna give this place one last spritz, just so the next person can enjoy. So as you guys can see, my room is empty. There's nothing here. And no, I didn't actually think I was gonna be emotional. Like, I was so ready to get out of this place, you guys have no idea. And the last question I want to answer, what accommodation did you move into? It looks so modern. The accommodation I was left with was Ropemaker Court. No, don't even. I just want to tell you how unserious this place was. Once everyone signed their lease, they found out that there was scaffolding around the entire building. That's probably why I'd never really opened my windows, because there was just scaffolding there. There was always builders making noise. It was so annoying. It's actually worse than I expected. I'm scared. Like, it feels like the building's gonna fall. But luckily they took down the scaffolding in some areas. Some places still have it. I just found it really deceitful, and I called the receptionist and I was like, excuse me, I just found out there's scaffolding over the building. I feel like I should have been told this first before I signed anything. And she was like, if you don't like it, you can leave. I said, oh. But besides all the negatives, I do think Ropemaker Court's in a good area. It's in Rushholme. I think it's got good proximity to like local shops such as Poundland, Lidl, Tesco's, etc. As well as being close to the bus stops and universities. So it's in a really good area, I will say. Bearing in mind, the night before I moved out, why is there 2 fire trucks coming to the accommodation? And the worst part is that no one tells you why the fire alarms are going off at 11 p.m. But they just happen to be going off. Why is it going off? I don't know. You tell me. And before I knew it, we were finally on our way home.